Hello. So we have quite a conjunction happening right now and happening for the next day. We have Moon and Saturn conjuncting Capricorn, and we experience this every month. We've been experiencing this for the last year and a half or so. So this isn't really anything new, but this is a time where we find ourselves under some kind of pressure. Now, some of us could be really experiencing a very tight grip of this pressure, and for that, breathe, it's gonna be okay, it's all good. And for those who are experiencing the pressure but feel like they're on top of things, excellent. And same thing, breathe, everything will be even better. It's essential during this time to just do your best, set the goals, focus on what you have to do, focus on what you need to do, focus on what's bothering you, on the challenge that's what's bothering you, and just get down to it. That's the best way to handle these energies, especially with all this Virgo energy. Some people can feel tempted to lash out at others and be finicky and all that bullshit. Just let that stuff go. That's not necessary. We don't need that. That's not solving anything too. All that's gonna do is cause a lot of difficulty that you're gonna have to clean up later. So just focus on the mess that is most bothering you and figure out how to fix it. Something that's a little bit difficult. I don't know how well you can see this screen, but we have these different transits. So we've talked a lot about this Virgo stellium. Well, by the way, this is the conjunction I was just talking about. So we have this Virgo stellium that we've been talking about a lot, and we've been talking about a lot of the positives, and it's good to always keep in mind that there's always positives, but there is a bit of a challenge, especially right now with Mercury opposite Neptune, Sun opposite Neptune, Venus and Mars opposite Neptune. There's so much good stuff, we'll get into that, but especially with the energies of today, let's just focus on the challenges. Let's deal with the negative so we can accentuate the positive. The negative in this case is it being very difficult to communicate very effectively, understanding where the people are coming from, and also, as per what we were just talking about, figuring out how to be motivated in positive ways and not and also how to deal with difficulties in dealing with others too. Mars opposite Neptune can be very difficult of how to address problems, how to address challenges. So as per the Moon and Saturn being conjunct in Capricorn thing that we were talking about, that can be very difficult because it can feel like there's this big problem, but I don't know exactly how to go about and fix it. And the best way is to channel that opposition of Neptune and Pisces with all this Virgo energy and seek to unite the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's a great possibility for this time, but it's only going to happen if you actually set the time aside to do it, to meditate, to do body meditation by working out, running, etc. Doing something so that your mind isn't just fixating on something from one perspective. You need to change the circumstances so that your mind can see things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, and to provide that space for your subconscious to speak up and to offer its perspective. So running can be really helpful, but again, I think really the key thing is meditation. This is a really beautiful time to be, it's always a beautiful time to be meditating, but to actually set aside that time to let the universe speak to you, that is one of the best ways of figuring out how to handle conflicts, figuring out how to work smart and not just work hard, and to be able to figure out what we need to focus on and what we need to sorry, my dog is eating leaves. This is hilarious. Okay, what we need, they're not poisonous, it's okay. What we need to focus on and accomplish and learn for us to continue to be growing. If we're allowing the universe to speak to us, if we're allowing the subconscious to be having its say, then we're going to be able to deal with the pressure that we're feeling a lot better. And one last note on that. It's very tempting during a time like this when we feel this pressure, again, whether we're handling it really well and we feel prepared for it or not, regardless of how we are on the spectrum of experience, it can be really tempting to cramp down even more. We feel that pressure, so we put pressure on ourselves, we put pressure on others, we start getting restricted breathing. Again, none of that is necessary. That all just makes stuff way worse. So just breathe. Okay, I'm dealing with a lot of pressure. Pressure is what builds diamonds. That's something that's really important to keep in mind, especially with this particular conjunction. It's a gift. Like all different transits, all different energies, it's a gift. And the key is making the most of that gift. So again, how do we make the most of the gift? Breathe, don't try and control too much. Focus on what you need to focus on to be able to be at peace and to feel like you're making progress. And again, let the universe speak to you. Have that quiet time where you're not trying to solve problems, where indirectly you're solving problems because you're allowing your mind to free flow and be chill. Again, meditate. It comes down to meditation. Again, working out can be really helpful during this time, but meditation is the only way that you're going to be able to make the most of this opposition. And again, even if you're doing really well, that can make things even better. As always, I'm doing readings. I still have a couple openings for later this week. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I definitely have openings for next week though. So if you're looking for a reading, now's a great time to get it, and before it starts filling up. The information for readings is in the bio section of my Instagram channel, or if you're watching this on YouTube, in the about section. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as always. And yes, have a great day. Breathe, breathe.